Hello Pisces, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of February 26th through March 4th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything that you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I'm providing, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, 3 of Wands. Beautiful card, lots of great optimistic energy, really hopeful, really strong, really assertive, right? Really a very stand-up card. Let's put that into some context, right? We see a lot of fire energy today. A lot of earth, a lot of fire, more earth, more earth, more earth. Wow. It's all earth, all fire, all day. That's going to be very interesting. Let's see how that is going to play out. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, and we're not going to reveal this card until the very end of the reading, right? So I always end up picking 2. Okay, so we're not going to reveal that until the end of the reading, so you have to stick around. I bet you that's going to be more earth or fire. Okay, I already know it. Hopefully that'll tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for. Okay, so earth and fire. We've got some fire, 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 earth, earth, earth. So a lot of fire, a lot of earth. Let's start with this initial 3. This is a real confidence in you, okay? I think that you have a real sense of duty, of integrity. I think that you are someone who has the inspiration, has the idea, has the motivation, right? It's almost like you get the orders from on high and you execute. Right? There's no in between. You go from fire to earth. You go from spirit to manifestation. You go from heaven to earth. You bypass the water and the air. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to feel about it. You just do it. You know? I think that sometimes gets you in trouble, maybe. Maybe you get carried away by some ideas sometimes because you feel this inspiration. It's like a heat. It's like your entire body just lights up and you start radiating this warmth. I think people around you even are like, damn, you're really warm today. I think it's almost like you get this fever about you, right? And maybe in a literal way. Maybe you just start getting kind of really hot and really anxious, and that's that fiery enthusiasm, that motivation, that excitement, and then you just execute. It's not something you need to think about, not something that you need to feel about. And the reason why that's a problem is because the thinking and the feeling are kind of the checks and balances that we have when we're dealing with circumstances, when we're about to act, right? When we have the inspiration. Between inspiration and execution, there needs to be a little bit of evaluation, judgment, planning, thoughts, you know. I think most of the time you bypass those, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if you're in some kind of law enforcement or military, you're in some kind of a field, or just maybe your general energy, but I feel like there's got to be some kind of expression of this in your like career path or the choice of activities. You're in some sort of field where you are expected to receive the inspiration and execute, right? You're not being paid to think or feel. You're just being paid to receive the order and to execute. You know, I think that's right along with your nature. I think that's how you flow. That's how you operate. And I think that it really does. It does provide for you very well, although sometimes it could get you in trouble. And what I mean by that, not only are you bypassing the thought and feeling, so sometimes you may be carried away with something, and, you know, it may not be until later that you think, I could have done that differently, right? I think another place that you kind of get caught up is when you receive an order, let's say, or an inspiration that doesn't resonate or harmonize with your integrity, your character, your self-respect, that's where it stops. You know, you will refuse. So you do have this intense confidence about you, this intense fiery energy that is just, it's like that self-respect. It's, you know, it's almost just like something comes in, the inspiration, the order, you know, something comes into you and automatically you know if it is kind of burning at the same temperature and degree as your energy or if it doesn't. It's an instantaneous like understanding or knowing, this gnosis really, if something resonates with you or not. You don't have to think, you don't have to consider how you feel about it. It's just an instantaneous if they're kind of burning at the same temperature as you or not. Or if that idea, that order, that inspiration, that enthusiasm, whatever it is, you know right away if that is something that is meant for you or not, you know. And so that could get you in trouble because I feel like you perhaps refuse things or refuse to take action or you reject things very quickly. And sometimes people may not understand, well, you didn't even think about it. You didn't even let me finish my sentence. You know, so that could cause some people to look at you funny, right? But I think it's because you have this integrity. You know yourself tremendously well. I think there's no need for you to overthink or overfeel about things. I think you just, you know, you have that gnosis about you. Now, what we see in the recent past is this Emperor energy, more fire, okay? I think that there was a particular instance in your recent past where you had to refuse someone's authority, or you had to refuse someone's order or idea or inspiration, something. You rejected someone who was trying to give you, I keep calling it an order because I'm just thinking of like a military person or law enforcement person, okay? But I feel like it could be happening at your office job. It could be happening at your, the whatever industry you work in, in finance. It could be happening in any kind of business or office setting. It could be in the, the store that you work. It could be in your home too. Wherever this is happening, there's someone who is in a position of authority that is giving you some kind of a command or a directive, some sort of they're issuing something to you, and I feel like you've rejected it, and I feel like this has recently happened. I think that it kind of took them aback. They weren't prepared for you to really just outright say no kind of before they even finish their sentence, and so I think that this is causing a little bit of a disruption in your life, is this recent event, okay? And what that's kind of causing with you right now is this Ten of Wands. This is, it's kind of an exhausting battle now because you're not budging, that person's not budging either. They have that fiery, authoritative kind of energy too with this Emperor card. They're not willing to give an inch, but neither are you. So I feel like with this battle, it's almost like the two of you are just so even with your power that it's just a lot of energy being spent and there's no real progress being made. Okay? So the thing with the Ten of Wands is that it reaches a point where it does yield, okay? So I don't know, however, if this is you yielding or if this is the other person yielding. They could be an Aries sign, okay? It could be your romantic partner, could be a family member, a friend, it could be someone at work, it could be someone higher up in the chain of command if you are law enforcement or military. And if you are, thank you for your service. It could be in any situation, but there is someone that's represented by that Aries energy, by this Emperor card, And the two of you, I think, are just like locked in this battle where the forces are so balanced and so equal that energy is just being wasted and wasted and wasted. And I feel like this is going on for a while now. Okay? You're at this impasse and a lot of energy is being wasted, but someone is going to yield. Okay? Someone, it has to, because this 10 of Wands is saying, look, this energy is almost running out. And as we look at some of this other energy, I kind of think that it is going to be you that yields, but not in a particularly passive or yielding kind of way, right? I think there's more strategy to it than that. Let's look at the top of the path of the dove to this 4 of Wands. This is kind of you trying to wrap this thing up, trying to figure out a way to get your way, but also allow the other person to feel like you've yielded, right? You're trying to square the circle. You're trying to find a way to win, but allow the other person to feel like they've won, okay? So this is some strategy, some kind of plan that you're putting in place. This could be almost like a compromise, but I think the way this Emperor energy feels to me and the way your energy feels to me, I don't feel like either of you would be okay with a compromise. So this is almost your secret plan to win and to dominate by letting them think it was their idea, letting them think that they won, right? So maybe a little reverse psychology going on here. But I feel like that's kind of how you're going to resolve this situation. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to be something where it is going to be win-win. It is going to be a compromise, but the way it's presented makes it look like something different. Makes it look like it was their idea, that they got the upper hand. They're going to feel satisfied. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we have to go down this kind of, you know, sneaky kind of strategic route. But I think that is the best option because this energy is wearing us out, right? There's a real risk here with this 10 of Wands of just becoming so exhausted by this, not physically, but just mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that it's really doing us a disservice to continue in this kind of impasse, to continue butting heads, to continue in this battle. Is not doing a lot for us. I think it could be manifesting as a physical ailment. I'm feeling like you literally are getting a headache. You know, I almost get this feeling like you wake up every day with a headache, or perhaps by the end of the day, as you're going to sleep, you get this headache that comes on and it lasts until morning, right? That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Something with the front of the head here. But in the immediate future, we do see things settling down. This is the 4 of Pentacles. This, I think, is, again, we're talking about you taking things from idea and inspiration to action and execution, okay? Not a lot of thought, not a lot of feeling about it. So I think that in the immediate future, this is the action now that we've taken to establish this kind of foundation, a baseline now of safety, security, stability. This is kind of that win-win situation, that compromise. You want things to be steady. You're trying to execute this plan to get everything kind of settled and basic so that you can move on to what's really important, right? I feel like this situation's been going on for a minute. And not anything else is really being produced because you're locked in this battle, okay? But I feel like in the future things will be resolved. Now this is a resolution that is creating a home base. It's creating a secure foundation, okay? So nobody is super happy that things are just suddenly magically just successful and lucrative. But now you've put an end to this problem. You were able to square the circle, right? Circle, square. And you create this resolution, right? There's been a solution. Beneath the surface, we've got this Ace of Discs. So there is something that you are working on. I feel like you do have these ideas, these inspirations, and that you want to execute, you want to put into action. Okay? And it could be that you have a lot of seeds planted for new businesses, new just ideas, new revenue streams, just a bunch of different things that you want to do in your life, right? I think you have a definite, I wanted to say plan, but we skip over the plans, right? I think you have these inspirations, and each of those inspirations is like a seed for a future kind of path, right? Businesses, creative ideas, just a lot of ideas in general. I think you have one in particular that you're trying to work on, but it's been disrupted because of this conflict with this Aries person, this fire person, this emperor. But I think once you establish this 4, once you get things relatively stabilized, then we can plant that seed, and this 4 goes to a 5 of Pentacles, right? 4 plus 1 is 5. We don't have a 5 of Pentacles, but we have something even better. By extension, we've got a 9 of Pentacles over here. Now we're going to switch over to the path of the Serpent, okay? And before I do that, I just want to say that these cards are always correct, okay? The problem is not with the cards that we've pulled out. The problem is with me as the interpreter. And I might not always know how to associate each of these cards directly with your situation. And that's why I ask you to connect directly with the images and the energies. Use your own intuition to go beyond the details that I'm providing, okay? So here we have the Ace of Wands, and this again is that inspiration. This is like the divine flash of idea, of enthusiasm, excitement, inspiration, and this together, these are you get the idea, you plant the seed, right? You get the inspiration, and you execute, okay? And this is in any area of your life. I think you have one thing in particular that you're working on, but I think because of the situation with this Emperor person, things have been a little delayed, okay? The completion of this plan, the successful result from whatever these 2 aces are down here, has been delayed. It's been kind of stalled out because you've been trying to resolve this issue over here, right? So I think the completion is coming. I think that you are now establishing the right kind of soil that you can, into which you can plant this seed. And again, behind all of that is that fiery inspiration. And now you can really work on completing this thing, finishing it up, whatever it is, nurture it, allow it to grow, really execute your plan to completion, okay? And then we said that the 4 plus 1 was creating a 5 of Pentacles, a movement, right? The action was now taking place. There was progress. Because up until now, we had this stagnation, no progress, right? You had a goal in mind, but you're not getting anywhere because of this impasse. But now, we've got that 5. We've created that 5. And what we see with this 9 is the real progress, okay? This is really seeing how things have gone from, the initial seed. Now we're reaching milestones. Things are progressing. We're seeing movement. We're seeing the progress, right? It's a visible progress. You see it in your bank account, perhaps. You see it in the objects before you that you're creating, or wherever this is taking place, okay? This is the visible signs of progress, okay? And then finally what we see, and this is kind of the best card in the spread so far. It's the last card on the path of the Serpent. We still have the mystery card. I still think the mystery card's either going to be a 5 of discs, because we made the 5, right? We made the 4 plus 1, so we made the 5. Maybe a 5 of discs, maybe a 5 of wands, but I think 5 for sure. But at the end of the path of the Serpent, we have this Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen is the watery aspect of the suit that it's in. So this is the water of the earth. We needed some water. This was all fire, all earth. Okay. Now we've got a little bit of water. So when you see that you're now able to execute your plan and pursue these goals, you see the visible signs of progress. that's where you're going to find your meaning. That's going to be the closest thing that you get to the water element, is that feeling of satisfaction, the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling like you're pursuing your path of meaning, right? That you are fulfilling your purpose, right? This week you're not caught up in feelings and thoughts and planning and stuff. You're caught up in the inspiration and the action. But at the end of it all, you're going to feel that sense of accomplishment, right? That's going to be that feeling, that spiritual feeling almost, of satisfaction, feeling like you are fulfilling your purpose, okay? And I think that's beautiful. This is a great way to end. I like that we have a little bit of water at the very end. But now this mystery card. Now the mystery card. I think 5. I think 5 of discs, maybe 5 of wands. Definitely a 5. No, it is a 5 of wands. So this is definitely showing the movement. And, you know, I think that we had this kind of stagnation, this impasse, this butting heads, that really being locked in place and not being able to move forward. But by the end of it, we got a 5 of wands. This is really showing that your inspiration, your idea is now in motion. Things are rolling. And we have the 4 and the Ace of Pentacles. So this makes that 5 of Pentacles. So things are really rolling for you now. Fire and earth, right? And the wheels are starting to turn now. We're getting through this impasse with this Emperor energy person, this maybe Aries person. The headaches are going to go away, right? And you're going to have that sense of accomplishment at the very end, and that, I think, is a really beautiful thing. This reading went quick. I think that's how the energy flows with you. It flows quick. It goes from idea to execution. And I think you're going to be accomplishing your goals this week. That makes me very happy. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's right up here, and you can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your weekly reading for February 26th through March 4th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.